Hello class, welcome again in the class 12 inorganic coordination compound chapter. Yesterday we have discussed about the one of the important topic of valency bond theory with example of coordinate compounds in a octahedral complexes. Today I will take a coordination number 4 and will discuss about tetrahedral and square planar compounds. Tetrahedral and square planar compounds. By taking this example, we'll try to discuss when there will be sp3 hybridization, when there will be dsp2 hybridization, and what are the some basic concept, basic things that will require to make a dsp2 or sp3 in the different complexes. And for that, I am going to take a very important example of nickel. One more thing, after discussion of this, we will try to discuss how magnetic properties of the compound decided in the different coordination compounds according to the valency bond theory, and we will also try to discuss the some key concept by which we just find out how there will be decision of the D2sp3, DsP2, sp3 or sp3d2, and this configuration can be valid for different complexes, different ions, or it will be only valid for the concept of pairing or unpairing. So all these problems related to the concept we'll try to discuss here only, and we'll try to conclude in this video. Then after, the next lecture will depends upon the crystal field theory that will explain all the demerits and limitations of valency bond theory as well. Okay, so let's try taking the example of nickel complexes, and I have example of NiCl4, NiCO4, NiCl4. These three examples I have. I will take the nickel examples and let's discuss what about the charge. In these three conditions, here nickel having zero oxidation number. Nickel having a zero oxidation number. Here nickel having +2. So this +2 can only be obtained by putting here -2. Okay, so these are the possibilities. You can take the example name. What will be the name of the IUPAC naming of this complex? IUPAC name, what will be the? Discuss. Guess the name of this complex. I am waiting for that. Tell me the name. Name is tetrachloronickelate second ion. Okay. Carbonyl, tetracarbonyl nickel was, because oxidation number is 0 in a Roman, in a bracket there will be 0, and there will be tetracyanido or tetracyano. You can put any name. Tetracyanido nickelate second ion. The oxidation number is second. In these three examples, it was observed practically that the first two examples are sp3 electronic configuration, hybridization. Both these are also sp3, and this is also sp3. But in the last one is a dsp2. So practically this was observed. sp3 and dsp2 configurations, electronic configuration or hybridization, you can say hybridization. The next thing, the magnetic behavior of the first compound is para. and the other two compounds are diamagnetic. So students, let's discuss about, because in the octahedral complexes we have seen that in the case of diamagnetic generally inner complex was formed, but you can see this one is the outer complex sp3 hybridization, this one is inner complex, still both are having a diamagnetic, means no unpaired electrons are present, but it is a paramagnetic with the same sp3 hybridization. We have to be discussed why this happening, why this kind of hybridization having two different possibilities. For that, I will go for first this first complex, and for that nickel. Nickel plus 2 electronic configuration, atomic number is 28, and the last electronic configuration is 3d8 4s2. Okay, the last configuration of nickel is 3d8 4s2, but here nickel carry plus 2 charge, so 2 electron from s will be out and then will be 0. So the configuration of nickel plus 2 is 3d8 4s0. You can mention 4p0 also. Outer d orbital cannot be used in the coordination number 4 complex, so no need to mention 4d. The outer d orbitals are not used. Either the sp3 hybridization will be there or dsp2. So inner d orbital can be used for coordination number 4, but outer d orbital is not used. So I will show you. This is the possibility of ground state. This is the possibility of ground state until the electron 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Students, see carefully. 2 electrons are unpaired. 2 electrons are unpaired. This complex is paramagnetic, indicating there should be presence of unpaired electron. It means the electron will not get paired during complex formation. During complex formation, no electron will be getting paired. So these 2 electrons remain unpaired in the excited state, and that's why the complex can be a paramagnetic. So in excited state, the electron will remain as same. The electron will remain same as in the ground state, and these 2 electrons will be as unpaired, will showing the paramagnetic character, and the chloride, the 4 donor atom will be coordinate with the outer orbitals. This is called s, and these 3 called p orbitals. So configuration will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we in hybridized state. In hybridized state, this is the possibility for the NiCl4 - 2 complex, because there is no vacant orbital in the inner d orbital, because the electron remain unpaired because of the paramagnetic behavior of the complex. It is okay. So we have sp3 hybridization with paramagnetic character. Now we have to be discussed. It is also sp3. It is also sp3. So why this is a diamagnetic? Diamagnetic means exactly. Diamagnetic means all electrons should be paired in excited state and in hybridized state. If the electrons are unpaired, it must be known as a paramagnetic behavior, the paramagnetism. Okay. So this is all about this complex. Let's discuss about this one. Okay. Now the possibility in the nickel, the tetracarbonyl nickel complex, for that you can see there is no charge, means no oxidation number, no oxidation number. So in this case the electronic configuration of nickel should be 3d8 4s2 4p0, because there is no charge, so these electrons should be present. During orbital representation, in ground state, electron will follow the filling of the Hounslow and Pauli exclusion principle. Now you can see that in ground state there is two unpaired electrons are present. In S there is paired electron, but in d orbitals, inner d orbital, there is unpaired electron. Now the possibility is, if the excited state the same configuration will repeat, the complex should be paramagnetic. But practically it was observed the complex is a diamagnetic. It means during excitation, during complex formation, this electron must be get paired to be having a paired electron all over, will show a diamagnetic character. Okay, so in excited state, these electrons first get paired. Okay, all electrons get paired, but see, the configuration is sp3, hybridization is sp3. It means during the pairing of electron in the d orbital, when this last orbital of d subshell is empty, that will just take the two electron, the pair electron from the 4s. The 4s electron must be get filled in the 3d last orbital, because that is empty. And we are knowing, until unless the inner orbitals are in excited state, inner orbitals are empty, first empty orbitals will fill, then next orbital receive the next electron. So what happened actually, these pair electron from 4s actually get entered in the last orbital of the 3d. And this is why now these orbitals are now available freely to participate in the hybridization from carbon monoxide compound or ligands. So these four orbitals are hybridized together to form sp3. So possibility is in this complex, due to the diamagnetic behavior, it is clear there should not be any unpaired electron, and this is why the electron get paired in excited state, and only those orbitals are available like s and 3p orbital hybridized together to form sp3 hybridization. But along with sp3, this complex is diamagnetic, and this one is paramagnetic, means there is an unpaired electron. This is all about the different ligands nature actually. Class, this is all about the depends upon the nature of ligands. Carbon monoxide must be having tendency to get paired the electrons in the d orbitals, but halides cannot having the tendency to get paired the electron in the d orbitals. That is why the orbitals having paired electron in this complex but not in this complex. But there is no any vacant orbital in the d, because nickel having 0 oxidation number, so the pair electron from 4s first entering the last orbital of d and only available s and 3p orbital hybridize together to form sp3. If this orbital should empty, then it participating in the hybridization to form dsp2 configuration or hybridization. So it means this complex is also a tetrahedral because sp3 configuration or the hybridization is a tetrahedral. This is also tetrahedral. Geometry is same, hybridization is same, but magnetic character reveals about the nature of different ligands present there. The same possibility you can repeat with the nickel tetracyanide cyanonickelate ion. But here the nickel having a +2 configuration. So look what will happen. In the last case, in the last complex, the nickel having +2 oxidation state indicating there should not be any electron, so it will be 4s0. So in ground state, no electron is present, but cyanide having tendency to get paired electrons in the d orbital. That's why the result is diamagnetic, and that's why the pairing of electron occur in the 3d orbitals, and one orbital is empty and available for the further hybridization. So the tetracyano means 4 cyanide donor atoms give their pair of electron from 1d orbital, 1s and 2p orbital. So now this is a dsp2 configuration. The hybridization change because of the oxidation number. If this is nickel 0, no oxidation state, this was the sp3. If nickel having +2 hybridization, it is in form a dsp2 hybridization. Now the geometry becomes square planar. This is because of the participation of the inner d orbital. Now this is called inner complex. And the first two called outer complex. Students, one more term is here that is called high spin complex and low spin complex. Paramagnetic compounds or complexes known as high spin complex, indicating the number of unpaired electrons are there. And diamagnetic complexes are known as a low spin complex. Generally low spin means there is paired of electron that just cancel their spinning of the electrons at their own axis. The high spin indicating there is a multiplication of the same type of spin either clockwise or anti-clockwise. So there should be a parallel spin electrons present called high spin complex, and this should be happen in the paramagnetic complexes. Now we have to learn some more things from the same data of the valency band theory that will be actually clear the why there is a limitations. Let's discuss about that. Students, we have to be discussed here about one very important thing. That is we have two possibilities now. Suppose we are discussing about octahedral complex and we have to learn when there will be inner complex. When there will be inner complex. Because inner complex, if we can be distinguished, we can be identify which of the example will be inner complex, the next will be outer complex must be. Na? So, suppose we have to be identify which one is the inner complex. So, in octahedral complex, I am going to explain only octahedral complexes first, then we will explain in the tetrahedral and square planar complexes. So, in octahedral, there is possibility D2sp3. Inner complexes D2sp3 means inner d orbitals are used during hybridization, during complex formation. Now, let's discuss about according to the electronic configuration D1, D2, D3, D4, D5. D6, D7, D8, D9, D10. These are the electronic configuration of the D substance. Okay, D1 to D10. Now the possibility. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1. Students, these are the some possibility. Let's fill the electron. I am filling the electron according to the balancing band theory, just a ground state. In ground state. Students, these are the electron filling. Let's discuss when there will be D2sp3 configuration. Look at the possibility first. If any of the metal having D1 configuration in their oxidation state, any oxidation state, suppose no matter, in just we have to go for complex, will just take the metal cation or metal from the complex and we try to electronic configure in the condition of the complex formation. If the electronic configuration of the metal cation or metal is D1, they always form inner complex, because for inner complex only two orbitals from D, inner D orbital are used, and now you can see two orbitals are in between. So these three possibilities always form inner complexes. The electronic configuration of D1, D2, D3, these type of electronic configuration in their complexes of metal cation always form inner complexes no matter which type of ligand is present. If ligand can pair the electron or unpaired electron will be remain no matter, but inner complexes will be there. But look at the possibility. Generally, inner complexes are low spin and diamagnetic. But see the possibility. Inner complexes, in this condition, the inner complexes are high spin and paramagnetic because the electron will not get paired. The electron will not be get paired. Now look at the possibility of D4. The D4, the one orbital is having an unpaired electron. It can only be formed inner complex when there will be pairing. When there will be pairing. So when pairing will occur? When pairing will occur, see, two unpaired electrons remain same. Remain. Huh? On pairing, two electrons remain. Here also on pairing. Look at the possibility. If these two electrons will get paired, then still one electron remain there. And if these two electrons get paired, still no electron will be unpaired. So, if ligands having tendency to get the paired these electrons in the orbitals, they can form inner complex. Students, it's always clear. We have to be only discuss about D4, D5 and D6 because these three type of electronic configuration in octahedral only can form inner complex when there is a pairing. If electron cannot be paired, no inner complex will be formed. Simply no inner complex will be formed. Look at the possibility here. What you can see? You can see on pairing we cannot obtain two orbitals. So last possibility D7, D8, D9, D10 they will not form inner complex in octahedral complexes because no possibility is there. Because no possibility is there. है ना? You will see on pairing no possibility is there. So, in coordination number 6, D7, D8, D9 and D10 electronic configuration, they will never form inner complexes because the octahedral complexes there should be requirement of two orbitals empty that cannot be available in these conditions. So students, we have to be actually only mention about this. We have to be only a mention or learning about this three possibilities. Now about the high spin and low spin compound possibilities. High spin and low spin possibility. Look at here. They are always inner and high spin paramagnetic. Because electron will not get paired, so they always will be high spin paramagnetic. Look at the possibility of D4 and D5. On pairing, two electrons remain unpaired. N equal to 2. N is the number of unpaired electrons. And here, the N equal to 1. So D4 and D5, on pairing, they will show a paramagnetic behavior. Paramagnetic behavior. So the possibility is, in the D4 and D5, inner complex also will be paramagnetic. So it's not a question, it's not a concept. The inner complex always will be diamagnetic. Inner complex is always diamagnetic is only when there is a D6 electronic configuration. The inner complex is of diamagnetic in octahedral only when D6 configuration. Another possibility, there is a paramagnetism. There is a paramagnetism. They are always paramagnetism, and they will not form inner complex. So all those complexes having central metal atom or ion having D6, they will be always a diamagnetic. D5 and D4, D3, D2, D1, they will be paramagnetic. And when there will be conformation of the compound formation, you can see from this data. This is the one of the best data I have that can be only reveals what about the complex formation, when will be high spin, low spin, when will be paramagnetic, diamagnetic. You can just identify by seeing the electronic configuration. That is just, we have just learned, yes, D3 configuration, para, dia, high spin, low spin, inner complex, outer complex, with the help of the configuration D3, D4, D5, D6, one level. So note down this value. This is one of the most important data I have. Okay, we'll discuss about the crystal field theory in the next lecture. Okay, thank you.